Hello guys, and welcome to my video, which is rating and telling you whether or not Defense Grid, the new free game from Xbox Live, is worth anything, and if you should give it a go. I was disappointed with this game right from the get-go because it was not Halo 3, which is what I was expecting. But I decided to give it the game and give it a try anyway, even though it is an arcade game. Alright, on the marketplace, if you are not a gold member, I checked, it is 800 Microsoft points, so it is a $20 value, which puts it on par value-wise with Halo 3, just because it's a newer game, not because it's a better game, because obviously Halo 3 is a great classic, and if you could get that for free, and if you haven't played it yet, that would be an amazing thing. But Defense Grid is an arcade game where you basically are defending your cores, which are circled here, from these little aliens, which march along these little paths and try to pick them up. And you set up towers along the way to kill them. Now, the interesting thing about this game is that these aliens, while having spaceships, apparently have not devised any offensive technology at all, and their main strategy involves walking in a straight line, and occasionally a curving line when the path curves. So they're basically like space-age ants, and their second main innovation in combat is to occasionally add more armor and walk more slowly because of the armor. Every once in a while, one of them gets a jolt of caffeine and goes pretty fast, but basically they march along like little columns of ants, waiting to be squished by your various towers. When I first saw the premise of the game and how the mechanics was working, I thought, wow, this is going to be sort of boring. And whenever I set up a little tower and it gunned down the first alien, I watched it, I was like, well, okay, that was thrilling. But it's over time, like on level 2, 3, 4, you start to build up a little more more varieties of towers and more varieties of aliens, which are, they basically vary between going little aliens which go in giant clusters, to slower aliens which go all by themselves but are more heavily armored, to the boss aliens which go really slow but are super heavily armored, and little fast aliens who try to run fast, and occasionally you have the innovative and amazing flying aliens who also have not figured out how to deviate from a single path, and you would think they would fly straight to the objective. No, they fly along curving arcs and all go on the same path line, so you can easily set up turrets along the path line that kill them. Of course, there are, with any game like this, you have certain towers that are better against certain kinds of aliens, which does lend a little bit of strategy. Like your flame towers are best against large crowds of aliens, so I always put them at the beginning of the map, and then your laser towers burn things over time, so they're pretty good against fast aliens. So I like to have occasionally those spread out throughout the thing. And when you finally get to the mortar towers, those, in my opinion, are the best towers because they cover such a large area. All you got to do is have a few choke point towers at the beginning, and then if you have mortar towers everywhere, they basically create a constant hail of death all over the entire map, and it maximizes the amount of time that aliens are in the range of most of your towers. They also have some little towers which can slow down the aliens, so like you can set up an amazing tower choke point and then have a tower which slows them down so that they get stuck on that choke point for longer. And so, actually, it did turn out to be a fairly enjoyable game. Pretty relaxing. I didn't stress about it too much. And then at the higher levels, you can see there's some more difficult strategies where they have big open areas, and you have to figure out how to, because the aliens will not go through your towers unless they absolutely have to. So you can place towers in creative ways to make the aliens' routes longer and more circuitous, so that they get shot for longer periods of time. And actually, that's when the game starts to get a little bit challenging. And I actually failed a couple levels before I figured out the proper tower placement to basically slow the aliens down enough out of the gate, while simultaneously doing enough damage to them to kill them before they take off with all my cores. So, on the whole, in an purely arcade rating system, this would be an 8. I enjoyed it. I wouldn't pay $20 for it. Okay, maybe I'll put that on to 7 then. So it's not worth its normal price. So it's probably about a 7. Pretty fun, relaxing, not too stressful, but then again, not what I was expecting. I was expecting Halo 3, and so I was disappointed. And if Microsoft keeps releasing arcade games for their free games, I will be very disappointed in their free games program, because what we were expecting is classic great games that were cost $60 back in their day. Now, should you download it? In my opinion, that depends on whether you enjoy tower defense type strategy games. If you do, I think you'll have a good time. It's pretty fun, and I personally enjoyed feeling like a giant human with a magnifying glass setting up my towers and forcing these poor little ants these terrible choke points of burning death. So yeah, it's enjoyable. And another factor which I think is pertinent for you guys deciding whether or not you're going to download the game at all is whether or not I would play the game after I finish making this review. And in this case, the answer is a tentative yes. I think now and again I'll pick it up, or I'll click on it and say, no, I'll feel like this blowing a half hour, sort of relaxing, solving a little puzzle, and not really being stressed too much. I'll probably do that. So yeah, that in itself might be enough reason to pick it up, just as a little deviation from your normal gaming routine. So I'll see you guys next time with the next free game. Hopefully it's good.